All right, guys, so what we're going to do is this one, we're going to come in with your push press. So your push press, again, is one of your foundational lifts that we're going to be doing each month. It's really, really good for all that total body strength once again. So I'm going to get Ant to perform it, and then as we come through, I'm going to give you some training marks around it as well. So exactly the same thing with anything that we're doing, especially with the Olympic bar, but with all the other kits as well, is we need to make sure about your foot placement. We want to make sure that you're secure on the ground and your weight's evenly distributed. So here, we're going to make sure, once again, that our feet are about hip distance apart. They come underneath the bar, so we're in a prime position. As we pick it up, Ant's going to come down, chest nice and lovely over the top of the bar again, and hips back. The belly button is drawn in, so this is nice and tight the whole time. Your foundation center for your movement is nice and tight. Now what we're going to do, we're going to perform a few of these lifts, and we can give you some key points as you're starting to perform them. So from here, we're going to get it up just onto the chest, the little flick under with the wrist, and see the way the elbows are coming forward and the wrists are facing forward as well. We'll show you from the other angle so you can see this also. But what we're going to do, we're going to dip down in the hips slightly, and then as we drive that bar up and above the head, we're going to make sure that our head is coming forward and our elbows are nice and locked out. So I'm going to get Ant to perform a couple of reps of this so you can actually see it. So from the ground, good. Slight bend in the hip, just to give you that little bit of extra push so it can go above the head. So it's not a standard military press. We're using the hip to get it up and above the head. And then we're going to return this to the ground, and we're going to show you from the front angle as well. So from a front angle, just so you can see, feet hip distance apart again, making sure that the knees over the top, chest over the top, drawing into the belly button to make sure the core is nice and tight. We're going to get the bar up onto the shoulder, flip the elbows underneath, wrists pointing up towards the ceiling with an open palm, little bend back in the hip, and then drive with power above the head. Good. Head forward, arms and elbows locked. And again, I'm going to perform a couple more reps so you can see. A little bit of a push through. Good. And then the last one as we come, little bit of a dip, and then drive that straight above the head so the elbows and the arms are locked. We're going to bring that right back down to the ground again. So as I say, it's not a military press. It's not a standard sitting there with the hips nice and straight. We've got to make sure we get that little dip in, and as we drive her up above the head, we go above the head, head forward, elbows locked as we go through to make sure that that weight is getting distributed down the spine properly.